When I first came up with the idea to do this video, I didn't really want it to be a rant. I just wanted it to be a week of me using YouTube Music, and I just wanted to give my opinions on it. Say if it's good, like what are the good points, what are the bad points. But the issue is that there's just loads of bad points. It just kind of turned into a rant. So just for a bit of context, I did used to use Google Play Music. Now I use Spotify, and yeah, I love Spotify. Everything works well. Everyone's happy with it, and it's all good. But since I got YouTube Premium, I just thought, let's give YouTube Music a go. So this is my week's experience with it, and it's kind of a rant, so obviously it's going to be bad. So to get everything over from Spotify to YouTube Music, it was easy enough. There was this free app called Soundest that I used that basically just transferred the playlist over to YouTube. There wasn't an option for YouTube Music, but I found that when I transferred it to YouTube, it automatically added it to it anyway. Some songs didn't work, some of them just were unavailable in the playlist that I moved to, and some just moved the wrong song over or just didn't move over at all. But whatever, if YouTube Music was good, I'd be able to deal with it. I'd be able to replace the songs over time and all that stuff. It's not a big deal. That just wasn't the case. I quickly found out that the same issues that I had with Google Play Music were there in YouTube Music, and they haven't tried to rectify them at all. And the most stupid thing is that they still didn't add offline playback for desktop. You have to be online all the time to play your music, and I think that's kind of ridiculous. Spotify does offline playback really well. Google seems to be under this illusion that we're online 24/7 and we don't need offline playback. But that's just not the case. The power can go off, the internet itself could just stop working, we could be at an airport where there's bad internet, or anywhere else that there's bad internet. Lots of places have bad internet, I mean, come on. But the inconvenience isn't just the fact that you can't save songs offline, it's also the fact that the whole thing is just sluggish. Because it's a web app, every page is a web page and it has to load, and just to move between playlists, to move from home to albums or whatever, everything's just slow, and everything has to be downloaded from the internet. Even playing a song is slow because it's not downloaded natively. So if you're used to clicking on a song and having it play straight away, you have to wait a bit, and that is kind of annoying. And yes, I did get a third-party desktop app, so technically I did have a desktop app. I could use the media keys and it showed notifications and that sort of thing, but it is basically just the web app within a container on the desktop, so it is kind of as if it's just running in a browser anyway. And talking about browsers, if you try to run this thing in Safari, it just doesn't work. This happened if you try to play a video in Safari. And if you're playing a song and you navigate between pages, that song will just stop playing because the page refreshes. It's kind of ridiculous. And I know this isn't the fault of Safari, because if you go to SoundCloud or you go to Epidemic Sound or literally any other music player, it will work totally fine. You'll be able to move between pages. It'll be a lot faster than with YouTube Music, and so it's not Safari's fault, it's YouTube Music's fault basically. Thankfully, an app as well as offline music is supported on mobile, but honestly that's just not good enough. I do need it on my laptop because I do travel around with my laptop, and music is really important, at least for me anyway. And another big issue that I have with YouTube Music is the lack of control that you have over the service. YouTube Music is actually a worse version of Google Play Music. You'd think they'd go the other way around, but no, they didn't for some reason. The settings page on desktop is a literal joke. Like, this is literally what it looks like. I mean, they did add a feature on mobile where it automatically downloads songs when it thinks that you want to listen to them. The thing is that that's still kind of taking away control. Like, I don't know what songs are going to be downloaded or not, and you just kind of have to rely on YouTube to do that. The way that I would do it if I was continuing to use YouTube Music on phones is I just do it the same way that I do with Spotify. If I want a song to be downloaded, I add it to a playlist that is set to download any new songs that go into it, and it will download. Honestly, this new feature for me just doesn't appeal to me at all. And it gets even worse, YouTube Music doesn't even handle the basics correctly. Like, you have to actually click on the image of a song to play it. You can't just double click anywhere on the bar like you can in Spotify. You can't select multiple songs at once so you can drag them between playlists or anything like that. And you can't even change how songs are sorted in playlists. They have to just be in that order. There's no option to change them by album or name or anything like that. And it also doesn't alert you when you add a song to a playlist that's already there. And with all of this, it just doesn't feel finished, it doesn't feel polished at all. And Spotify is just miles ahead of it, and I just can't move over from Spotify to a much inferior product. I mean, not everything is bad. Radio does work really well, and it did suggest some songs that weren't added to any of my playlists that were really nice songs that I may have forgotten about or I just didn't know about. It's also great that you can add YouTube videos to your playlists and have them play alongside your other songs. You just can't do that with Spotify, so if the song isn't in Spotify, it's not there. You'd have to maybe download a YouTube video if it's not available for purchase or anything, and you'd have to then add that to Spotify, and that's a whole process. It's a lot easier to do on YouTube Music. A good example of this would be I See You from Avatar, sung by Leona Lewis. That song's not available on Spotify, but it's got a video of it. But yeah, that's about it for the advantages. There's just hardly any advantages of YouTube Music over Spotify, and I just couldn't bring myself to keep using it. Especially when it comes to features that it doesn't have, like crossfade and podcasts. I've started to recently get into podcasts, and I like that it's available on Spotify, that I always have open anyway. I can just jump into a podcast straight from there. As I said, I didn't intend for this to be a video of just me ranting about it. I wish YouTube Music would have worked out, but I just can't move over to it. There's just so many disadvantages to it, and I just can't bring myself to move over. I mean, there's some things that I didn't even mention that Spotify has the advantage of over YouTube Music. But what do you think? Are you using YouTube Music? Did you use Spotify in the past? Be sure to let me know down in the comment section down below. And be sure to subscribe to see more technology videos that come out every now and again. For now anyway. But yeah, I hope you all have a great day. I'll see you all in the next video. Bye.